simple life. It doesn't have much. It doesn't worry him where you're going. Yeah, nowhere.
Okay, so this is the next clock I wanted to make a video of. Bought this one in, I believe, November. Didn't work. Didn't have a cord. Didn't have anything. Or it did have a cord, but it didn't do anything. Case is scuffed up. I'm going to work on that one of these days. This is a tape here I have to get off. It's probably been on there since before I was alive. It's a simple little thing. It's got a Sangamo manual start movement. I have a few clocks with this in it, with this movement, so I've actually become very proficient at taking these apart, cleaning them, servicing them, and making them run like new. I did have to actually locate a motor for this because the coil was shorted. I do have the old coil. I'm going to try and rewind it. I've gotten it apart without damaging it, so it is possible, so I'll see how that goes. And if it does work, I'll post a link to the NAWCC, I think it is. I have an account there. And I'll put a link in the description of the video, I guess. It has the original tag. Let me just zoom in a little bit. This camera, I probably should get a new camera one of these days. This camera works, but the focus has been sketchy at best lately. And whatever. Yeah, I have the same problems in this with the lighting as I always have. Whatever. It says cleaned and oiled 9/30/1955. And it says ZER under that, so that might be it. Oh, I better turn this down before the copyright people come after me again. Anyway, so I put a new cord on it. Probably not as long as I should have, about 4 or 5 feet worth of cord. This is definitely would not pass any safety standards. That's live right there. It is plugged in. It's not running. It's a manual start clock. To start it, you gotta flick this up and drop it. And now, if you want to look in there, you can see the motor, the rotor spinning around. Yeah, I took this all apart, cleaned it, lubricated it, sourced a spare motor for it, and I actually have a few parts. I have an extra one of these levers now and an extra one of these knobs and everything, which is nice. The mounts that hold the clock to the face are actually coming off a little bit, so I might have to do something about that. This one's worse. I have quite a few antique clocks I actually want to show off. It has part of an original sticker on it. I don't know what this thing was originally called. There it is. It's not set to the correct time, but it runs accurately. I'm gonna fix this case up one of these days. I just don't have a whole lot of time to be working on things like this, so I kind of do this on the side, get them working, and then I do like the complete refurb and refinish the case. I'll do that on like a weekend where I'm not working. Probably in a few months or a couple years even from now. But the clock is usable. It runs. It's got a new cord on it. I put a vinyl plug on the end of it. Not quite period correct, but close enough. Seth Thomas, made in USA. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. It's a cute little clock. Not in terrible shape. Bought it on eBay. I believe it was November. Beginning of November. And I actually just got it back together. Got the movement done. You know, even with sourcing an extra a working motor, just the motor. I didn't even get a second movement, just the motor itself. And a couple extra little pieces. Took about maybe a week to get this. Actually, I bought the motor right before I bought the clock, because I just had a feeling I was going to need one of these motors at some point. It was dirt cheap, so I'm like, even if it doesn't work. And what actually happened was the rotor from this motor was very weak. The magnetism was very weak, so it would barely start, and it would stop running at any little bit of resistance. So this is the rotor from the one with the bad windings. And I have the other rotor, which I'm going to attempt to remagnetize, which I think I could probably do. In worst case, I can probably get tiny little magnets to put on the teeth that go around the coils. They're kind of shaped like a fork almost around the end of the around the end of the core. So I'm gonna play around with that, and I have the extra windings that I'm gonna try and rewind. So I have rewound a couple clock motors before, and it's a pain in the ass, but it is doable. Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat. This saw the original tag here. I'm gonna try and seal this with something because this is very dry. It says oiled 12, 39, 37 at the top here as well. So I'm gonna say it's probably, this clock's from the early 1930s or the late 1920s. I believe this one, I want to say it's from 1928, but I think I'm mixing up my dates. I think I'm mixing up the dates with the green sessions, which I still do have. Okay, yeah, that's enough for this one. Thanks for watching.
Happy the man. He leads a simple life. It doesn't have much. It doesn't worry him where you're going.